Hello peoples of the internet and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new, hey, what's up? I'm Marcus, I am female to male transgender, and I am here to spread some knowledge about being transgender to the people like you. Yeah, you, right there, you. No, not the guy behind you, no, him too if he wants to join, but no, you, right there, yes. But yeah, today's video is going to be a little different than topics we talked about in the past. Today's video is going to be about me. It's gonna be my transition timeline up to this point. I'm nowhere near completed with my transition. I'm still very much in the beginning, but I'm gonna be talking about, you know, like kind of how growing up, like how it was like growing up for me and as a kid, like growing up when I was growing up being trans and having to deal with this thing by myself for so many years. So yeah, I'll talk a little bit about that today. So yeah, to start off, I realized that I was transgender when I was 7 years old. Now I came out as trans when I was 13. So, you know, that's where all that started. You know, it's about a year ago. I was 13, yes. It was a year and a half ago. I've been out for about a year and a half to like friends, family, all that combined. Yeah, about a year and a half now. And yeah, but for 6 out of the 7 years, I was closeted, and man, did I go through some stuff. Let me tell you, man, like, wow, I don't know where to start, to be honest, but I think I'm just gonna start talking and ramble, and we'll see what we get out of this. I think that's how we do this. I'm gonna let you guys in a little secret. I plan all of my videos. I normally plan what I'm gonna say, you know, I have like not like a script kind of thing, but it's more like a bullet point of every topic I want to talk about. But I didn't plan this video. I, was going to, but I was like, I should just turn on the camera and talk, because, I mean, it's what I do best. Like, I talk a lot. I'm quiet, but when I do talk, it's a decent amount, and this is something that I'm pretty passionate about. It's just me telling the story of me, which I haven't really done much, like, out loud, and like that, but, you know, we're gonna give it a shot today, see how it comes out, see what you guys think, you know. But yeah, I think this is something that, needs to be shared, kind of, this channel's, about me, and this is going to let you guys into me, pretty much, everything that I've gone through the last 7 years of life, they've been a fun time, kind of, but yeah, let's start off when I realized that I was trans, or just like a kid. So, like I said, I realized that I was trans when I was 7. Yeah, prior to that, I knew that I was different. I knew that there was something off, I guess you could say, about me. I didn't know what it was. Obviously, I'm 6 years old, like, just confused, But eventually, through the internet and many nights and days of research and YouTube and all this stuff, I, realized that I was trans, like, honestly, I talk a lot of crap about the internet, and I don't think the internet's the best place for kids and everything like that, and like the society in itself is just talking a lot of crap about the internet and how it's toxic, but I wouldn't be who I am today without the internet. I don't think I would have found myself as early as I did. And yes, there's a big controversial thing of whether kids should like trans youth stuff, and if the whole kids don't know what they're talking about, kids can't just realize that they're trans, decide they're trans, all that crap. But I don't believe in that, but that's for another video at another time. But yeah, with the help with the internet and a lot of article reading, I, came to the realization that I was transgender. And the way I did this, it was, just kind of hearing these other trans guys on YouTube stories, and like them telling stories when they were a kid, and, all that kind of stuff, and it kind of like connected with me. Like the same things they went through, the same things they felt when they were kids is the exact way I was feeling in that moment. And I kind of just put things together. You kind of put things together, I was always really mature for my age, I was thought like more, I guess, mature than like normal kids my age, so you put things together, you figure things out, and you kind of like realize there's like a light bulb, like, oh my god, this is what I've been feeling. Angels have been sent down to me from heaven, like angels are singing in my ears, dude. Like, it was insane. Like, that feeling's kind of indescribable. I kind of like pinpointing, this is what I've been feeling, like this right here, this thing, what I've been feeling for so long now. And it's like, it makes sense, because prior to that, you think why do I feel like this? Why do I feel this way? Like, I was born this way, why do I feel like that? I'm not a boy, I'm not this and the other. Like, you feel very isolated, you feel like you're alone, you feel like you know, like, you're crazy, dude. Like, I swear, I just swore I was crazy because I was so young, you know, and it was like, it was horrible. Like, it was not, definitely the start, that's probably, you know, has to do with a lot of my mental health issues now, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, so yeah, I come to this realization that I'm transgender, but thing is, I'm 7 years old, so it's not like I can go and be like, hey, mom, dad, trans, you know, it's not, it doesn't really work, especially at that age. I was terrified of anybody ever finding out in the beginning, because I thought they would think I was weird, that they would, you know, I would lose my family. I thought it was just going to be really negative, which, you know, I'm so happy that now 7 years later I'm fully wrong, that I was fully wrong. And if I were to go back to my 7-year-old self and tell him, like, dude, you're going to grow up and you're going to come out and it's going to be great, everybody's going to love you, nobody's going to hate you, you're going to be good, man, I would probably laugh in your face and be like, you are a liar. That's probably what I would tell myself. Like, 7-year-old me, dude, I was not the happiest of kids. Though I acted like I was. Don't get me wrong, I acted like I was on top of the world. Like, you know, rainbow, sunshine, unicorn all the time. I was ecstatic as a kid, but really I was a pretty sad kid, you know. And it was the first few years, I think the first 3 years were probably the hardest, you know, like from ages like 7 to 10, you know, were pretty hard just because, like, it's when puberty starts kind of like thing. I developed really early because I've had hormone issues my whole life, you know, so like I developed pretty early, so I kind of hit puberty earlier than most assigned female at birth people, or just kids in general. Like, I just hit puberty a little early, so it definitely created an immense amount of dysphoria for me, and it was a feeling that I'd never felt before. Obviously, it was like I had felt dysphoria, but there's only so much you can feel prior to puberty, and then when puberty hits, it's like a punch of that stuff, dude. Like, that is, God, that sucked. You know, like, this is when, you know, you first start growing things and things start happening and puberty, you know, all that fun stuff. Yeah, but no, that was really a dark time for me, the start of a very dark time, you know, with everything going on. And, like, no one understood it, because it's been 3 years, you know, at this point. I'm around 10 years old now, and I'm still have this giant secret that I'm terrified of anybody finding out. This is something that I never even wrote down as a kid. It's like, I've always written songs, music's always been my outlet, and I never even wrote about this because I was so scared of anybody seeing it, anybody finding it, my parents seeing it. Like, it's something I kept in my brain and my realm. I never spoke it out loud, never wrote it down, nothing. There was no evidence or proof or like anything like that would lead someone to find this out, unless they like tore open my brain or something, I don't know. But yeah, so it's 3 years now. I've been going through this for 3 years, growing up, still feeling like absolute crap every day about myself. And, you know, it was hard, you know, definitely, like, knowing this thing for so long and being referred to as female and she, her, and insert dead name here, like, you know, like that whole thing. It was definitely something, man. Like, it was truly something. Yeah, and I would say it got the worst around ages like middle school time, like 11, you know, like 11 to 13. Yeah, it got pretty bad, you know, because, you know, middle school is a very dramatic time. Like, back to the hormones thing. Your hormones are pumping, you know, you got relationships, and it's just a mess, dude. And, you know, like, I went through this for so long because it took me a while to accept this about myself, because before you can come out to anybody, and I mean this not even with just being trans, with if you're gay, you're bisexual, you're pansexual, whatever you may be, or whoever you may be, you know, you have to accept yourself first before you can tell anybody else. And that's, like, harder than anything. Accepting yourself for who you are is probably something like one of the hardest things that we have to go through in life as people. You know, accepting this thing about you that's not normal, even though it's normal, it's, you know, it should be normal. It's like, you know, it's like, it sucks that kids grow up to be afraid. Like, kids grow up being afraid of saying who they are, or saying, I like the same gender, or I identify as the opposite gender. Like, you know, with the opposite gender thing, it's definitely a different scenario, obviously, but when it comes to sexuality, I think that's something that kids shouldn't be scared to say. It should just be a thing. I don't think coming out sexuality-wise should really be a thing. It should just be like, hey, I'm a guy who dates guys. Cool, whatever. Like, it shouldn't be such a big deal. Because, like, let's be real, this whole straight like man woman thing is a society thing. Like that's society's problem. That wasn't really like, I guess, like, I don't even word that. It's like it's a society's thing that society made up, that this is the norm, that this is the normal thing, that everyone's supposed to be man woman and shit. Like that's just society at this point. But let's not get into that topic because that can be a whole video in itself. I would talk about that. But yeah, like what I'm saying is like accepting yourself is the hardest thing to do, especially when it comes to being transgender and being a kid and being transgender, being a trans youth, because you think the same way other people do, like adults do, where it's like, oh, you're 10 years old, like what on earth do you know about who you are? Like you're barely even a person yet. But that's not how it works, you know. Kids are treated as though they're not allowed to have opinions, they're not allowed to speak out of line and like that. And I don't believe in that, because it's like, yeah, a 10-year-old can know that they're transgender. A 10-year-old can know who they're attracted to. A 10-year-old can know what makes them comfortable. Yes, these things might change and they might either like grow or lessen throughout time, but when it comes to like attraction or gender, I mean, like, you know, I think it's a different story. Like obviously you're gonna change as a person. You're a different person from when you're 10 to when you're 14, like me. Like I'm a completely different person than I was then, outside of me being trans and coming out. Like I know more now. Like I understand people's point of views when they say this, like, oh, like kids don't know what I'm talking about. Like the whole kids don't know what they're talking about. Kids are too young to understand this, that, and the other. I understand that, whatever, but you know, there's so many records of kids under the age of or of kids like 12 and under. So many. Go on YouTube, you'll see it, of kids. Perfect example, Jazz Jennings. She is a perfect example of all of this. Coming out, being transgender. I think she's about in her 20s now. She came out when she was about 11. If I'm wrong, I'll fact check that. Put that somewhere on here. Future, whoever's editing this, whoever might be in this, fact check here somewhere on the screen. Her age and when she came out. Thank you. Yeah, but like, and she is happier than ever. She has had both surgeries. She is living her life to the fullest, and she was a trans youth. Well, not was, but you know, she is a trans youth. She was a little kid, you know, who said that they were trans when she was like 11 years old, and like that was a big deal for an 11-year-old to say, hey, mom and dad, I transgender. Like that is insane. And when I was 11, I was terrified of doing that, you know, so I took the cop-out way and said that I was a lesbian. Yeah, I came out twice. Oh, it was so fun. Let me tell you, 6th grade year, right? Getting a little bit off track here, but 6th grade year, you know, I am being eaten alive by dysphoria and gender problems and all that fun stuff. But I was, you know, 11 years old at this time. I was terrified of saying who I was. I was still not very accepting of myself as being trans. I still thought I was crazy and thought I was ill. There was no way that I could have came out and said, hey, I'm a boy. Yeah, that could have never happened. So the way I took the halfway point. I was like, mom and dad, or not, well, I told my mom first, but you know, family, I like girls. And I told everybody in my family that everybody knew that I was a girl who liked girls, that I was lesbian. That's how I was known for pretty much all of middle school until like quarantine time, 8th grade. Like, was quarantine time, I want to say? Yeah, about around that time. So like my friends started to know and stuff like that, so yeah. But yeah, so, and you know, I wasn't the happiest of doing that, but it was something. Like, the way I saw it, it was like, it was a step in being myself. It was the closest thing I could have got to in that moment. At least there's something that they know. Am I gonna tell them fully about me yet? No, because I was 11 years old, dude. Like, that is terrifying. I know for a fact my parents would not have, like, had a very good reaction to that. No offense, mom and dad, but, you know, you gotta give me that. And, yeah, you know, so I took the halfway and just said, hey, lesbian, you know, women, nice. I'm still like that, but I'm straight guy now, but you know, then I was a gay girl. But that's the very common thing, like, for trans guys to do. I've seen that where it's like the trans guys will say that they come out as lesbian and then a few years later come out as trans. So I wasn't as crazy as I thought I was, but like at the time I thought, like, what am I doing? This is so stupid. But it is self-hatred and all that fun stuff, you know. Everybody goes through that, but it is what it is. Yeah, you know, self-hatred, you know, all that stuff, that's what obviously a lot of kids go through, especially in middle school, you know. Well, now that we're in middle school, I can definitely talk about that. Middle school is the time in my life where I did come out as who I was. About a year after I came out the first time. So we'll talk about that. Alright, so 7th grade year, I was in a relationship that was very on and off. I'll put it that way. We were very on and off, you know, whatever. And once everything ended between her and I was, you know, heartbreak, all that fun stuff. It was, you know, hard time in my life, and I took that as the thing where like that kind of, and that breakup gave me the motivation to be like, all right, bro, get your stuff together. Like, what are you doing? Like, stop being scared. Stop hiding. Just be who you are. Like, this is, you know, ridiculous. Like, this is, we're at 6 years at this point, 5, 6 years at this point. What? No, it'll be 5 years. 5 years? 4 or 5 years at this point of me knowing this, of me knowing who I am, and I already accepted it by this point, like 7th grade year, quarantine time. So I was like, screw it, dude. So I did. I came out to my friends. I came out to my friend. That's what I did. I came out to my friends first. Because those people, like, I assumed like, they had the better reaction, because I was still scared to tell my family, you know, coming out, whatever it may be, is terrifying to tell your family regardless of what it is. So I told my friends first, which is pretty normal. So if you tell your friends first, that's fine. I mean, that's what most people do, is the people you feel more comfortable with all the time than your family. That's probably gonna get me in trouble for saying, but sorry, mom and dad, you know, friends, love you guys. Yeah, but yeah, so I told my friends first. I told like my boys, you know, like from elementary school, and they all had the best reactions. Like, when I told my friends and the people in my life, I had nothing but good reactions. And just to say, I am so grateful for my friends, especially in that time of my life, because, you know, that was, like, when I was telling people at that point, that was really the first time I ever had said it out loud. Because, you know, it's been 5 years, but I still had never really been like, hey, transgender, oh, hey, I'm female to male transgender, oh, you know, like, I had never really done that. You know, I'd never even texted it. So even when I told some people through text, I did that, and that was a big deal for me, and I am very blessed and very fortunate to have had the reactions that I did. And, you know, like, you know, a lot of my friends, my best friend, Milo, buddy, you know, I told this kid, and he never messed up once. Like, from the moment I told him, like, he got the name, he got the pronouns and everything, like, he was, like, on it, and that kid is my best friend, and he's possibly be the one editing this video. Bro, if you are, put a little hi or something up here. Say what's up, man. Yeah, or even the comments, dude, like, that kid is my brother. I love that man to death. Always gonna be there for that kid. He's always gonna be there for me, and yeah, like, so grateful for him, and yeah, love you, man. But yeah, like, I am so grateful for all of my friends, and they were all really supportive, and they were all fully, like, they were good. Like, I had no negative reactions when it came to friends, and that was definitely, like, a worry for me, because I am a people person. I've always been a people person, like, for many years now. Like, I love meeting new people. I think that is so, I like going up to, like, I think, like, put me in a room full of a bunch of random people that I don't know. That doesn't sound that bad to me. It sounds pretty fun, because it's just like, I'm so down to just talk to somebody new and be like, hey, tell me about yourself. What's your story, you know? And like that. So, you know, I'm a very people-oriented person. So, like, if my friends and those people, like, and also I love my friends. Like, so friends are a very big deal to me. I'm someone who needs friends and friendship to kind of function. Like, needs people to function. So, like, I know if I would have had some negative reactions from friends, that definitely would have got me down pretty hard, especially at that point when it was, like, my first time coming out. My camera battery's gonna die. But, like, my first time coming out to anybody, so that was definitely a big deal. But yeah, you know, and then next up, obviously, family. That was a interesting time. You know, I had a mix of reactions with my family at first. You know, at first it was definitely a shocker to everybody. Of course, there's family people who have grown up with me my entire life, but I'm gonna do a whole video about my family's reactions to me coming out and everything, so I'm not gonna go into much detail about that, but definitely in a future video look out for that. But, you know, definitely a mix of reactions. You know, shout out to my grandma. She's gonna be watching that. I know, grandma, love you. I was so terrified to tell her, you guys have no idea. And I told her, she was like, okay. Like, she just was, like, fine with it. Like, she just went with, like, He was like, okay, yeah, cool, what's your name? And I was like, yo, what on earth is happening? Like that, I was so tripped out. Like that, I would never forget that night. That was something, you know. Love you, Grandma. Shout out to Grandma, shout out to Milo. Love you guys. But yeah, yeah, that was middle school. For the most part, like the end of it, quarantine time was coming out and figuring out who I was and everything. You know, like the haircut, this thing. So I was known for a while having a ponytail and long hair. That's what I had for like what, 13 years about. And then like in January time, I want to say, yeah, January, early January time, 2020, I got an undercut. So I cut my hair short, and my long hair was now short, and I had an undercut, right? That whole thing that, you know, basic hey mama's lesbian undercut stuff, did that. And then, what, like 6 months later, 7 months later, like, yeah, 7 months later, on August 15th, I got this. Not this exactly, but I cut my hair off. So I only had undercut for like half a year. It was in like, cause like during that time is when I had come out and everything like that. So yeah, that's when the haircut happened, and this little timeline of my hair. I think I want to do a video of like like my hair transition, cause that is a whole thing. I've had so many different hairstyles. You guys have no idea. I'm trying to talk a little faster because my camera is going to die, so I'm trying to rush this video a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, now it is October 2021. I am fully out as male to everyone in my life. There is not a person in my life that does not know. And I am Marcus. I am no longer, well, I am who I was before. I am dead named to family and everything like that. But when it comes to friends and stuff like that, I'm Marcus and I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's definitely been a roller coaster this last year and a half of everything that's been going on in my life and coming out to all these people. And it's definitely been hard, and especially the last 7 years dealing with mental health and everything like that. And like, I know I didn't go to too much detail with mental health, but I want to make a video about that. I think this might be next week's video. Spoiler, I might do a mental health video next week. Just, you know, talk about some stuff, you know, get some things out, you know. Yeah, y'all can be my therapist for a day, I guess, or me rant to you guys. But yeah, now here we are. I'm out, I'm me, I'm happy, I'm doing what I love. I have an amazing girlfriend, I have amazing friends, my family, you know, we're doing good, everything's doing alright, and could not be happier with the people in my life. Like, I am very happy and very blessed to be alive right now, and I'll touch on that more in the mental health video. But you know, there was some dark times there where I didn't think I'd make it to 14, so I'm definitely very happy that I never gave up on myself. And yeah, you know, and now I'm here to spread this knowledge and tell my story, share these things with you beautiful people, and you know, just to show you guys that it does get better. Like, I am the living example, and so many other trans in the world, that it does get better. It's gonna suck for a few years, dude. You just gotta stick it out and you gotta fight through. You can do it. I believe in you. You guys got this. You're strong. You guys got this. I'm telling you, just fight. If you're closeted, it's gonna be alright. I can be your big trans brother Marcus and show you guys and lead you guys on the path that's of transitioning. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is definitely a new one. I haven't had anything like this before on the channel. You know, it lets you guys a little bit into my life. Hope you guys enjoyed. You should like this video if you like it, of course. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't subscribed, come on, I'm telling you. If you're watching this video and you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Scroll down or minimize the video or something. Go hit the subscribe button. We're at 45 subscribers. We're doing great. Thank you guys so much. I am so happy. The support on this channel has been insane so far. I'm very, very happy. The number's been going up, man. Especially in the last few weeks. And I even missed last week. Sorry about that. As you can see, double upload. That's not gonna happen like that often. So don't think I'm uploading twice a week. If I could, I would. But that's not gonna happen for now. But yeah, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Camera's gonna die, so I'm gonna rush this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. You know, yeah, love you guys. Have a great night, have a great day, have a great evening, wherever time it is, where you are at, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace. Heh.